All right, order of operations. So these are actually two problems that are often seen on social media. So before we work it out, let's just take a guess. And I need everybody to participate. We're only talking about order of operations today. What do you think the answer is to the first one? Would you pick 1 or 9? Raise your hand if you would say 1. Who would say 9? In the front of the room. So 9. All right, and what about the second one, number 2? What would you say, 1 or 9? Just guessing. I don't know. We're going to come back and actually work them out, but I just want you to guess. What do you think your answer would be? What would you choose? Would you say the answer is 1 or 9? Who says 1? Who says 9? All right, so more people said 1. So now let's go ahead and actually fill it in. So who gets up in the morning, puts on your clothes, and then gets in the shower? That's out of order, right? There is an order to everything we do. Everything we do has an order. And the same thing applies in math. There is an order of operations. You have to follow them in this specific order. The first operation that we always do is parentheses. After we do our parentheses, E, so we're here first. And then we're right here. After parentheses, E stands for exponents. And then after exponents, M, multiply or divide. And you go from left to right. So you don't always multiply first. You do whatever comes on the left first. And then last is add or subtract. And that's the order of operations. That's the order that we're going to simplify expressions in. So now that we have done that, let's go back and do the 2 questions that we took a guess on. Let's see if our guess was right. So we would start off by doing our parentheses, which is 1 plus 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So that would be 6 divided by 2 times 3. So the biggest mistake is you have to go left to right. So do you see how there is division and multiplication? Because division is on the left, we're going to do that first. So we're going to divide 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And then 3 times 3 is 9. So you were right. If you said the answer was 9, that is the right answer. For number 2, so we're here. So this question here matches this question. Okay. So for number 2, we have 3 operations. So we have subtract, we have divide, and we have add. So according to order of operations, what would I do first? So we have subtract, divide, or add. Looking at the order of operations that we have written down, what do we say comes first? If you look at the stair step. So see how the steps, the division comes before adding or subtracting. So we're going to divide first. So in your calculator, go ahead and put 3 divided by 1/3 in your calculator. 3 divided by 1/3 is 9. So that would be 9 minus, and then we figured out that that's a 9 plus 1. And now we're going to go from left to right. So because subtraction is on the left, we're going to do that next. So 9 minus 9 is 0. And 0 plus 1 is 1. So you were right. So your guess was right for both of these. Yes. So I would have to look and see exactly how you did it, but I would recommend that you try to follow the steps, with order of operations especially. So now let's go ahead and look towards the bottom, and we're going to look at work that was done. They're all wrong, and we're going to try to figure out what they did wrong. Okay? So let's look at this first example towards the bottom. So take a minute and look at it. See if you can figure out what they did wrong. So they got 21, and 21 is not the right answer. So they did not follow the order of operations, or they did an error somewhere. So see if you can figure out, looking at it, what they did wrong. Where did they make their mistake? Does anybody see where the mistake could be at? So they have multiplication. So this is multiplication. You said they did not divide? I agree. So what should they have gotten? 30. So these are your 3 operations that they have. The 3 operations in this question is multiplication, subtraction, and division. What should come first is left to right. They multiplied and they got positive 24. I agree. But here, when they divided 60 divided by 2, what is 60 divided by 2? 30. So this should be 24 minus 30. Thank you so much. All right, so 24 minus 30. So what is 24 minus 30? What is it? -6. So the right answer is -6. So the error is that they divided 24, they divided 60 by wrong. Because 60 divided by 2 is 30, not 3. That was their mistake. Go ahead and look at the second one. Go to the next page. Try to find the error and the correct answer. All right, thumbs up if you figured out what they did wrong. Who figured out the mistake? So here is 12 divided by 3. Is 12 divided by 3 3? What is 12 divided by 3? 4. So the error is that they divided wrong. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that was their mistake. And that was not the only mistake they made, too. The other mistake they did was that they subtracted before they divided. So they made 2 mistakes. So what you should have done was divide the 12 divided by 3, which would give you a 4. And then 18 minus 4 is 14. So that would be the correct answer. All right, just a couple more. Today we're only focusing on order of operations. So looking at the next example, see if you can find the error. All right, so what is the error? So let's see, inside of the parentheses, it looks like they started with the parentheses, which is right. So they divided 3 divided by 3, and they got 1. So I agree with that. And then they added 6 plus 1 and got 7. So it looks like the mistake came here. Because what they did was they added next. And added is not the next operation. So there is 5 plus 2 times 7, which is multiplication. And we have addition. But what operation should we do first? Should we multiply first or add first? Multiply first. So they should have taken 2 times 7. They should have multiplied first. And what they did instead was they added the 5 plus 2. So it should be 5 plus 14, which is 19. So the error is that they added 5 plus 2 before multiplication. So they were out of order. All right, let's look at the next one. See if you can find the error. So in this one, the error was actually in the first line. So take a minute and see if you can figure out what they did wrong. So when you take your skills check on Friday, if you only give me the answer, because I do recognize you could just type this in your calculator and the calculator can give you the right answer. However, the majority of the points come from identifying the error and explaining to me what the person did wrong. So finding the error and identifying what that mistake is. So what's the mistake in this example? They divided, and what they should have done is what first? The exponent. Good job. So they should have taken care of the 3 squared. So the error is that they divided before the exponent. So now let's go ahead and do it the right way. So we have 18 divided by 9 minus 20 divided by 4. So the next operation would be division. So with your calculator, figure out what 18 divided by 9 is and 20 divided by 4. So 18 divided by 9 would be 2. And 20 divided by 4 is 5. So 2 minus 5 gives you a negative 3. And that is the correct answer. Okay, so we're actually almost done. We're going to do just a couple more questions and then we'll end there. So going to the next page, now I want you to try. Now it's important though that you show your work. Now it's nothing wrong with using a calculator to check your answer, but you need to show how you got the answer. So let's go ahead and start off with number 1. And let's work through it together. So we're going to start off with our parentheses, which would be the 5 minus 3. What is 5 minus 3? 2. So now inside of the parentheses, I have 6 minus, and then a 2. And now you're going to still work inside of your parentheses. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. That would be your final answer. All right, let's look at question number 2. Start off with your parentheses. So 5 minus 5 is 0. So 12 divided by 3 minus 0. Now we have two operations. We have division and subtraction. What operation comes next? Division or subtraction? Raise your hand if you say division. Who says subtraction? It is division. Good job. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 4 minus 0 is 4. All right, I want you to try to do number 3 by yourself. We're going to end at question 4, so we just have 2 more questions. So you're going to do what's inside of the parentheses first and then divide your 2 numbers. That's okay. All right, so we have negative 1 minus 4, which would be what? What's negative 1 minus 4? Negative 5. So, because you have a negative 1 and a negative 4. And then we're going to divide that by negative 4 plus 3, which is negative 1. Now divide negative 5 by negative 1. And your final answer is 5. Good job. All right, last one, number 4. Last one for today. Whenever you subtract the negative, it changes to addition. So you have negative 3 plus 4 squared. So 2 negatives changes to a plus plus. So go ahead and work inside of your parentheses first. This is what you do first. You're going to take the negative 3 plus 4. Anybody know what negative 3 plus 4 is? 1. Good. And now you're going to square 1. You got to do your exponent. 1 squared means 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. Good. And then your last step is to take negative 3 times 1. So that would be a negative 3. And that is your final answer. All right, so did everyone pick up homework 1? That's your first homework assignment. That is due on Wednesday. It is worth 50 points. So go ahead and start working on that. Tomorrow we're going to do fractions. So you should be able to do questions 1, 2, and 3 from homework 1.